What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of PWTB. A little throwback today. It's just me and Evan on the show right now. Jordan is on vacation down in Florida. Kimmy decided not to show up, and Thomas is handling some other business elsewhere. But let's get to the introductions. Evan, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Yeah, it's a little kicking it all the way back to 2022. If you go back and look at like our first episodes, you can still see them on here, by the way. But yeah, it's a great Friday night. It's like 70s out and it's fall now, so that's always good. It's not freezing yet, and it's a good day. I'm ready to got some football on. And we're gonna talk about a lot of football too. Yeah, a lot of good topics today. I can't wait to get to it.
Yeah, I mean it's getting chillier down here. It's getting to be the fall season down here. But let's jump into the show today as we are gonna recap week one of the NFL season, and what a week it was. I mean, we have the Ravens come back, we have the first career start from JJ McCarthy. Um, Daniel Jones came alive in a way that we didn't think. And old man Aaron Rodgers is still doing it at the age of 41 years old as he defeated the New York Jets. But if we're going to talk about biggest winners and biggest losers of week one, I would give the biggest loser to and I can't believe I want to say this, but I'm going to say my team, the biggest loser of week one, the Miami Dolphins. Nothing went right for Miami in that game. A late touchdown from A-Chain, the pass from Tua, but earlier in the game we just couldn't get anything going. Tua throws two picks, turns the ball over once on the ground. It just we just couldn't get anything going, and hopefully we'll get going in week two against the New England Patriots. But as for the biggest winner, I would say the Buffalo Bills. Uh, I think, the Ravens are known for blowing these leagues. There's a there's a meme circling around social media right now with all the blown leads the Ravens have made, against the Bills, against the Dolphins, all that good stuff. So I think the biggest winner would be the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen. Evan?
So something interesting about both Jake and I's picks, stay tuned for that. That you'll see a trend there. Biggest winners, I had four and I picked one, and biggest losers, I had two, and I also picked one singular one there. So the biggest winners, I think you got to look at how about Friday night? Friday night in Brazil, you had the Chargers and Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert throwing for 300 something yards. I mean, because they've had to hear all season, well, they can't win in the big game. They can't win in the playoffs. They'll always be good, but they'll not be great, the Chargers. But you got Jim Harbaugh coming in. It's his second season there. Justin Herbert, he's taken a lot of crap this offseason. And yeah, it's an international week one game. Like obviously these could be sort of fluky games, but I think Justin Herbert throwing for over 300 yards. The Chargers look really good there. I thought the Jaguars altogether played a really solid game. They beat the Panthers by 16 points. Trevor Lawrence didn't really have a great statistical day. I don't think Travis Hunter only had like a few catches, I think, for 30 yards or something like that. But overall, I would say, the Jaguars as a team, they're probably, I would consider them on an level playing field with the team like the Panthers. So to go ahead and blow them out right away is big. And then also the Green Bay Packers just taking it to their division rival, I think was pretty huge too, especially looking very good on defense with Parsons and company, but their secondary looked very well. So those are three winners I had. But the main winner, I will agree with Jake. I think it's the Buffalo Bills. I think when you look at like, yeah, the Ravens blew the lead and all that, but you got to look at who is coming back on that side too. I mean, Josh Allen playing like Josh Allen once again. Keon Coleman with over 100 something yards in that game. Showing, the whole thing last year was, well, they don't have a receiver now without Diggs. Well, they're still making it happen. And so I would have to say they're the big winner. And the big loser, like I said, I had two of these. One, I would say the Patriots were definitely a loser in week one. Um, not a huge one, but they had some pretty big expectations with Drake May. They thought they might be getting a wild card, maybe even all the way up to the division, competing with Buffalo. And that did not look to be the case last Sunday. They only scored 13 points. Um, so just not a good showing against a Raiders team who's probably about on their level too. But and the odd thing I was saying to watch out for, me and Jake have the same exact picks. I'm gonna have to go with the Dolphins as my biggest loser, and maybe it was just so obvious this week who is the biggest winner and biggest loser. But yeah, the Dolphins. You got to consider who they were playing. They were playing Daniel Jones and the Colts and got blown out. But also this is just a team with, you got Tua, you've got Tyreek Hill, you've got Jalen Waddle, you've got lots of star power. But the problem, and I've had my criticisms of Tua, and I probably showed it on the show. But you have to be able to play offense a little bit, and you have to spread the ball out, and you have to have some. Also, you have to have some depth pieces, which I'm worried that the Dolphins don't have a lot of depth. So I think that's the biggest problem. I think the Dolphins are a big loser. It's only week one, but they left a lot to be seen for sure.
Yeah, well, the Dolphins definitely need to, and I'm gonna look forward to this in the middle of the season. Maybe beef up the offensive line before the trade deadline. If the Dolphins want to compete, I mean, after that showing, might as well just throw away the whole season. Am I right?
Yeah, you can't
But
though, because it's just week one. It's just one loss. But like after a game like that, I feel the same way about the Titans. Like you just want to just toss it in the garbage. But you have to go back out there. It's not November yet. You can still try, but
I mean, with that team and how we play, I don't know about that. You talk about star power, Evan, and it's like. We have the star power. We just did not perform in that game against the Colts. I mean, maybe I'm overreacting. It's only one game. We'll see how the rest of the season goes. But shifting back to the football standpoint of things, fantasy football. You and I both lost this week and that last week, and that we're playing each other this week. So, hopefully that'll be a good game. I got Bo Nix and Cam Ward, who didn't play great head to head last week and didn't get me a lot of points, but hopefully, they see other teams, hopefully maybe they pop up a little bit.
We did. I have a league. I have two leagues. I play in one family league, which we switch out each year. But in Jake's league, and we started this last year, it's a keeper league. So that's sort of exciting. And I did lose, but I'm pretty excited about my quarterbacks. I hung on to Penix when nobody believed in him. And I hung on to Rodgers when everyone called him an old man, and now he threw 4 touchdowns. So and then I already had like Joe Burrow and I think Dak Prescott in that league. So I did lose that game, but I'm liking my quarterback situation in that league. Hopefully, and we can start multiple in that league, so hopefully they keep it up. Yeah,
Yeah, and I'm pretty excited too because I if you remember in the off season, I traded James Cook to you, Evan, but
we
that
made we
and
made a
I
lot
had
of trades in the
no.
offseason. You wanted some draft picks, so I provided.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I got some draft picks, but no, where I was going with that was I just picked up Jordan Mason. My running back situation wasn't great. I only really had DeAndre Swift. As the plumber get back to really focus on, but I just went out and free agent got Jordan Mason up. Hopefully they can get me some points. I can beat you this week.